Hey Radiant Souls, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome for the first time. My name is Heather. I'm so excited that you're here. I also owe you an apology because it is the 13th of March and I have yet to do the monthly energy forecast. So that's what we're talking about today. We'll just consider it as a slice of March. We'll get back on with April at the start of the month in just a couple of weeks. So you'll see this same kind of video again really soon. Different message, different art, different concept, all the things. But I hope you'll stay tuned for that as well. So wanted to bring through a quick channeling from my guides to explain the theme of the month. And if you are new here, I work with a team of spirit, angelic, and multidimensional guides who look at the landscape of energetics. So it's not so much a train schedule as a weather forecast, what we can experience and how we can conceptualize it, apply it to ourselves, and navigate through it for our highest and best good. So after the channeling, I'll be back to just chat with you for a quick couple of minutes and show the art that came through as a channeled drawing. If you're familiar with automatic writing, it's a little bit like that, only with art and colors and shapes and geometry. And that's really why I really wanted to come and do this and get this in front of you, because I know so many of you are anxious to download the art for the month. So I'll be back with that in just a few minutes. Enjoy the channeling and I'll see you soon. Hello, bright and beautiful beings. We would speak to you today regarding the energetics for the remaining days within the month of March 2026. And the word we would use to categorize these energetics is indelible. What within you is so hard-coded that you can be no other way but this? What within you as a soul are you deepening into your exploration of in this lifetime? What within you has been carved out as the rivers carve through the canyons and is so firmly entrenched within you that you are passionate about it, you are in tune with it, it is your authentic expression. Find that, and there may be many of those, find that for yourself this month and allow yourself to go even deeper within it. For at this time in your reality, those things within you which feel indelible are deepening, they are expanding. And with that, you are essentially coalescing those elements of yourself as points of reference for connections to other timelines, other lifetimes, past, parallel, and future. So for those who do wish to explore the greater multidimensionality that is your soul, knowing what is indelible with you can help be your launching pad or launching point for those explorations. What beautiful, glorious aspects of your soul come into multiple incarnations to be expressed, to be explored? What are the themes that you like? Maybe there is a certain area that your soul always likes to explore. With the channel, it is often creativity. She likes to come into a lifetime and play in the space of creation, creativity. Sometimes it is art, sometimes it is music, sometimes it is concept, sometimes it is speaking, sometimes it is a mix of all of those. But in many lifetimes, that is what she explores. Perhaps for you, it is healing. Maybe it is comedy. Maybe it is complicated relationships. Maybe it is a theme of dependency and codependency. It can be anything. There is no judgment on what your soul wants to learn. But as we are approaching more prevalence and presence of higher frequencies, everyone's themes are becoming clearer. If you imagine them as threads, those threads are becoming a little bit pulled tightly because you are fully immersing yourself into those themes. You are remembering, you are reconnecting. And so they are, in a sense, becoming more and more permanently carved into the energetics of your soul. And from there, as we mentioned, it allows you to have resonance with other lifetimes where you're exploring similar themes. And therefore, giving you ultimately, and not within the month of March, not perhaps within the year of 2026, but in progression, you will be working toward a broader connection with those aspects of yourself. Some of you may do this for fun. Some of you may do this to, in some ways, accelerate your soul's learning. If you consider another analogy of a student who is in college and has a double major. As a soul, you may choose to tune into an active frequency in other lifetimes and double up on the learning in the way that you experience it as a soul. So that would mean having more cognizance of it here, where your consciousness is projected in this timeline. You have the awareness of your consciousness in its projection, in its aspect, in its fractal in other timelines as well. And being able to cheat off one another's papers, so to speak. You can see what you've learned there. You can apply it here. You can apply what you've learned here in that lifetime as well. And you will have the knowledge of doing that. You will have the ability of navigating these different timelines. But for now, with March, it starts with indelible. So feel into the energy of that word and acknowledge for yourself, these are my points of reference as a soul. What is it that you find a joy? What is it that you find an opportunity? What is it that you find a challenge? What are those themes in this lifetime? And do they feel resonant with you as a soul, or do they feel that they only apply to this one existence for you? We hope you found this message helpful. Thank you for spending some time with us today. Be blessed, dearest friends. Okay, interesting word for this month, indelible, because we're so often connecting into this feeling of fluidity, and often the teachings are about that, about not being too stuck in or too entrenched in something. And I think what's interesting for me most from that, or what I guess I tune into more than anything in that message, is the image of a river carving through a canyon. So it's really those lessons that we've learned as a soul. And what my guides tell me is this, for many of us, is a mastery lifetime. Now, that does not mean we're here in a mastery capacity, like we know what we're doing 100% of the time. Totally, I do not. For sure. But that we've chosen this timeline, this lifetime, this incarnation to have sometimes the greatest challenges, sometimes the greatest opportunities, the highest stakes. So imagine that when we choose a lifetime, we come into school, this is like our PhD level program for us. So maybe that feels resonant to some of you. It certainly did for me. And again, not that we're here operating at a level of mastery, we're learning more mastery for our soul. So when we're looking at themes, challenges, opportunities, joys, really feel into those things that feel like they've been with you for a while, because those are the things, the way, I don't know how clearly the team explained it, but what they were showing me was those become the anchor points, or almost the broadcast station. So for me, creativity is one of my themes. It's a passion of mine. I'm always doing something creative in some form or fashion. That becomes, for me as a soul, indelible. It's written on me. You can't separate me from that. It just doesn't exist in any other way than in combination. So the more I tune into that for myself, the more I acknowledge that for myself, the more I recognize that is fully a part of who I am, the stronger that signal becomes. And then imagine when the collective energetics are allowing that for us, and when our own development allows that for us, we then have almost different signals of parallel lives, future lives, past lives, that we studied that same theme or we explored that same concept. They become easier for us to tune into because we're broadcasting that signal so strongly. I hope that makes sense in the way I'm saying it. I also see it as the hub of a wheel. So the bigger the hub of the wheel, the more spokes can connect off of it, and those spokes are different lifetimes. So let's look at the art for the month. I'm jumping all around because I'm trying to get this message out to you guys for March. So the theme, Indelible, when I channeled this as art, it came through as this, which I really love this one. It's one of my favorites so far in the past few months, I guess. I was going to say this year, but we've only had 2 others. But I love this. I love the colors in it. I love the feeling of structure, but also fluidity. For me, the center part looks a little bit like 2 dragonflies connected together. There's a little bit of symbology here. That's the other thing that the guides were showing me with this message, was thinking of your soul's purpose, your mission, your contract, your blueprint, whatever, the things you like, the things you identify with, as hieroglyphics. So carved into you. Would those be petroglyphs instead of hieroglyphs? Someone will answer that in the comments, and thank you in advance. But sacred etchings on, the cave of your soul. Not to sound too cheesy, but too late for that because it already did. So if you're new here or you need the reminder, you can download a watermarked copy of this art for your own personal use. Feel into the frequency of it, journal with it, meditate with it, use it however you connect with it. If you would like a physical copy of it or a print like this, you can get this size. You can get a 16 by 20 paper, and you can get it on canvas, metal, or paper like this as well. And if it's paper, I'll sign it and mail it to you. Also available through the link in the description box below. So thank you for letting me slide this in a little bit later this month. I'll be back soon for April, and we'll try really make a concerted effort to have these coming to you at the beginning of the month so that you can get the art downloaded, you can work with the messages and the energetics and all the things. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you again really soon. Take care. Bye.